Politics affects all of us, whether we follow it closely or not. Welcome to Vote and Voice, where we unpack politics together, one conversation at a time. I'm Connor, and this is today's episode, Why We Get So Upset About Politics. And why is it so sensitive? So, a lot of the political conversations we have, can be very toxic, whether it's in person or on social media. I think it has a lot to do with like polarization, how we feel about certain people in different ways, and especially a certain, political figure. It has to do for many reasons, and most political conversations usually start with like a conclusion, like, based on possibly opinion, like, oh, this person's so great, and a lot of the discussions are already kind of biased in a way, especially if they already know what they believe, because that's kind of how people enter discussions. And also, like, identity is another reason why many political conversations don't really go so well, and why we get so heated. It's just they're really, these views we have are tied to values, morals and self-image. And when what we believe is challenged, we feel like we're threatened. And it goes from listening to protecting. And we want to protect our beliefs, no matter what others say, whether it's negative or positive. One person might want to explore ideas while the other wants to persuade, win, or prove their point. And usually these goals don't really align so well because the conversation feels frustrating on both sides. One person may feel unheard while the other feels resisted. And even like, language and the way we communicate play a big role, especially based off of emotions, whether it's words like freedom, justice, fairness, responsibility. These mean different things to different people. Yeah, and honestly, social media and the mass media definitely make this even worse, honestly, like with the way it's been and how we are consuming politics been so rapid in this digital age, and it's hard to believe in, a lot of information we consume, like, and like sometimes like it comes to experience, and but it's like we very rarely talk about why they feel personal when these experiences are left out based on policy, party, or systems where, it might benefit other people than others. So it can definitely be very devastating to hear. Yeah, when someone's acting in a certain way, we assume that, they support this person. It makes us hate them more, even though they never said anything politically. It's that kind of like feeling like, oh, I feel like, with their attitude, they support them. Yeah, it's easy to feel like those things, especially when you compare them to someone else that might be like them, even though they're not. But yeah, it's, fear of being judged and fear of being labeled and saying the wrong thing can definitely escalate the conversation because politics touches power, values, and the future. So, like, what's the best approach when it comes to politics? I'd say, like, try not, like, this is not advice or anything, but what I usually do, especially when it comes to topics like politics, is like I would avoid kind of saying biased words like, "Oh, this is great." I'm just gonna be pretty. I usually be pretty neutral about it, but I'd say overall, like, for us to understand each other a little more, it's kind of you gotta find the right people because, of course, not every person is gonna react the same, especially if it's feels like they're offended. So it's not 100% perfect, but these conversations reveal how people make sense of the world, and it's just realizing how complex things really are.